Hey guys, Gwyned here. I'm going to be doing some streaming video today of the semifinals of MPDC Season 20 Worlds. This match will determine who plays in the finals. So on the top you have Chip, and he is playing a Gruul Disciples deck. And then on the bottom you have Brazil, and he is playing White Weenie. And interesting enough, his particular list has no spells, just creatures and land. Chip has won the dice roll, and he is going to play first. And we are off. So let's see. Chip leads with a tap land. These obviously best thing to happen to Standard Pauper in a long time. These dual lands, nice clean design, taps for two different kinds of mana, and comes into the battlefield tapped. Love them. Getting lots of great use out of them. Should mention here that Chip kept his 7, but Brazil had to mulligan all the way down to 5. Alright, so after they both play a land, it comes back to Chip. He's going to pass on his turn 2 as well, but Brazil's going to play a Loyal Cathar. This is probably one of the best white creatures in Standard, and really one of the better ones even in Classic Pauper. The fact that it's basically an automatic 2-for-1, 2/2 Vigilance is already pretty good. Casting costs of white obviously is a little difficult, but in White Weenie obviously it's just a 2/2 for 2 bear with Vigilance, but then when it dies you get a 2/1 right back that can also continue to attack. So great card. Definitely a card of choice for White Weenie. And then at the end of his turn, Chip is going to go ahead and play an Ambush Viper. If this guy had Reach, he would probably be broken, but Flash and Death Touch is definitely very, very good. Let's see, and then Chip's going to go ahead and just use a Pillar Flame to get rid of the Loyal Cathar. Only way to make sure he doesn't actually get that 2-for-1. And then swing in for 2 with the Ambush Viper. Follow it up with another tap land. And back on Brazil's turn, he is now going to go ahead and play an Attendant Knight. Again, great creature for White Weenie. Not quite a 2-for-1. I would call it a 1.5-for-1. A 1/1 is certainly nothing impressive, but the fact that you get a 2/2 first strike for 2 and a white, that would already be pretty reasonable. And getting the extra body out of it is definitely gravy, but makes it a pretty strong card. So obviously with the Death Touch here swinging in, would almost certainly mean that he has a trick. Let's see if Brazil goes ahead and blocks. He does. So presumably here Chip has a trick. He does. He's going to go ahead and using the Blood Rush ability of the Xertos Wine, getting some good use out of it. Pumps it up to a 5/4. Shame this doesn't have trample, but it will go ahead and finish off the Attendant Knight. And then he just passes the turn back. So with his 4 mana, Brazil's going to play a Daring Skyjack and then follow it up with a Keening Apparition. Daring Skyjack, very aggressive card. A 3/1 for 2 is very good, and then the fact that you can get flying with it by activating the Battalion is definitely very strong. And then Keening Apparition, nothing special, but the ability to get rid of enchantments is definitely a nice touch, particularly in a metagame that includes a lot of enchantment effects. So just going to swing in for 1. And back on his turn, Chip's going to continue to swing in for 2. Brazil doesn't want to trade, and he's going to follow that up with a Disciple the Old Ways, which is another bear, but the fact that you can give it first strike for additional red is definitely pretty good value. So Brazil's going to go ahead and swing in with everything here, activate the Battalion, which means this guy will get through. It's interesting, he basically is choosing to trade off either the Keening Apparition or the Soldier, or not trade off, he's using to sacrifice either the Soldier or the Keening Apparition to be able to attack. I would suspect that he's got a trick here. So he's going to go ahead and block the 2/2. Let's see if he gives it first strike. Surely, yeah, he's going to give it first strike, and now we'll see if Brazil does have a trick. He doesn't. Very, very aggressive move to just sacrifice a card to be able to get in for the 3 points of damage. So then Brazil's going to follow it up with a Seraph of Dawn. Great little follow-up there. Again, one of the best cards in Standard Pauper right now. A 2/4 flying lifelink creature for 2 white is definitely very, very strong. One of the best flyers White's had in a long time. Alright, so the beats continue. Obviously here Chip probably has another trick here. So let's see. This time I'm imagining Brazil's not going to block. He does not. And Chip's going to follow it up with a Xertos Wine. Yeah, Xertos Wine. Great card. Obviously 5 mana is a lot in this format, but the fact that you can use it as kind of a pump spell for attackers, and a really strong pump spell at that is really, really good. It's a shame it doesn't have trample. It would really make it much better. But still, you know, a 5/4 body is well worth playing. All right. Brazil plays another land. A little flutter for White Weenie. White Weenie really, you know, can operate on 2 or 3 mana, so anything more than 4 is unfortunate for it. So he'll swing in here. Obviously, the soldier here will probably just die to the Zertos Swine, but it does get him in for 5 damage. So that sacrifice makes a lot more sense to me. Brazil's now back up to 14, while his opponent is down to 10, and he's going to follow up with a second Seraph of Dawn. So pretty strong. Chip's going to have to find some flyers. That's actually one of the things I don't like about this Ambush Viper. There's a, I can't remember the name of it now, but the spider is very similar as Flash. No, it doesn't have Flash, but similar stats otherwise, but it has reach that allows it to be able to deal with these annoying little flyers. Alright, so again, Chip's going to go ahead and swing in with everything here. Again, presumably has another trick, and Brazil doesn't block. And then it looks like Chip has the burn to go ahead and finish off his opponent. Alright, so that is how game 1 ended. I'll be back in a minute for game 2.